Hi, Professor. This is again proof that I had the assignment done. It is, well, now past midnight, so it's the 26th. Last night, 25th. It's 12:01, and I have a 19-minute video recorded for the organizational problem-solving assignment. So I'm going to just record it so you're able to grade it. Hi there, my name is Annalisa Garcia, and I am going to be going over organizational processes within the customer service industry. In the prompt, they talk about, they use the word intentional, which I think is kind of that key word here. And this goes beyond just the external factors and only customers. These organizational skills and processes are put in place to help benefit everyone involved, the team, employees, managerial staff, and all guests. And these skills and processes are what are going to make a business successful. In the beginning of the semester, we talked about how customer service is the backbone of, a successful business. And so to answer the first part of the prompt here, I'm going to reference the prompt. Demonstrate types of organizational processes and skills that are used to help a business provide a positive customer service experience both internally and externally. So to kind of delve into that, I saw a quote that, because my main point, one thing that really affects the customer service experience and the main process that I was going to reference is communication is huge with amongst your peers or as an employee or towards guests. And one quote that I saw that our professor used in one of her slides was communication, the key to connection, or communication, the human connection, is the key to personal and career success. So it kind of goes to show that it will improve, on a business level, but personal success was something that stood out. And so when, we're asked to go over, providing a positive customer service experience, I wanted to just briefly go over what customers really want. And that is, they want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to be understood. And things that they value are their time, they value convenience, they value empathy, and efficiency. They want, the place that they go to for business or whatever, they want to keep returning because that company or that service is reliable. And so a few things that help, skills or processes that help bring that are what I said earlier, which is effective communication. And for example, you go to a drive-through and you can't understand or hear what the person at the drive-through that's working is saying. That's going to make you have a terrible experience as a customer, and you're not going to want to return. As an employee, let's say you come into work and you are bombarded with, just a ton of people, or, there's a promotion going on or something of that nature, and you had no idea because things weren't communicated to you, you're going to have a terrible experience. So things like that are super important to give the employee a positive experience as well as, you know, the customers, because it's a snowball effect that if an employee is not having, or multiple, are not having a positive experience, and communication systems are failing at that point, then customers are going to have a negative experience, and this is all going to affect the success of the business. Another process that you know, improves the customer service experience is what we went over in what one of the beginning chapters, the standard operating procedures, and this is a super important point. At an employee level, these keep things very consistent, and you know, they're put in place for a reason, to ensure, you know, customer and employee safety, it just the overall service experience in general. For example, I worked at Starbucks for 5 years, and during my time there, if there is a disturbance, or you know, a customer has a problem at some point, if things escalate, one of our standard operating procedures is that the person that is going to engage now with the customer is not going to be, you know, barista level. It's going to have to come from supervisor or a manager. This is put in place, again, for the safety of all the partners and customers involved. It's so that, you know, the supervisors and managers have a different style, or a different type of training that they've taken and received, so that they may engage or try to de-escalate problems, and then, you know, they have the ability to, you know, provide compensation or anything of that nature. So yeah, just it helps ensure consistency across, and yeah, just it helps provide, again, exceptional service. As I pointed out in the beginning, that's what customers want. It's what good customer service is you come and you know that the service you're going to receive is consistent, it's reliable, and those are like one of the two biggest values that a customer has, at least for me. And then another organizational skill or process is keeping, just supporting employees in general, so employees and customers. But again, when I mentioned that this is all a snowball effect, it starts within your team. So supporting your employees, you know, having effective communication, like we talked about earlier, it's all just one big web. And so having like a positive work environment, and you know, being there to help your employees train, develop, grow within the company, or giving them recognition when it's owed or deserved, and you know, all of that, and will affect employee morale. It affects the energy that the employee comes to work with, and you know, those things resonate with customers. It's very obvious when you walk into a restaurant and your waitress is having a bad day. It's almost like you can taste it or feel it. So those things are really, really important, you know, to create a positive experience for your customers and employees. And for the second part of the prompt, we're looking at problem-solving skills and philosophy. What problem-solving processes do I think help provide a positive customer service experience? And how does, okay, let's start with that first part of the prompt. Do you think provide a positive customer service? So one thing, at least I'll answer this as if the things that are important to me as a customer. One thing that I value is if I have a problem, at a restaurant, my food is cold, or you know, one of the employees maybe wasn't treating me the best, that how the employee responds, their tone of voice, their body language, um, and that they make me feel seen and heard, understood, and that their response is quick, because that is one way to show the customer that you care, is that you value their time. So rather than having them wait around, or maybe just not even acknowledge them at all, and it's very visible that the customer is unhappy, those are all things that are going to make a customer want to return or want to never come back again. So responding to complaints quickly and at a timely manner. Um, at some point in problem solving, things uh, might be out of your hands, or might be just not within your limits or training. So it's okay to recognize when, okay, this is kind of beyond me and my capabilities. I'm going to now escalate it to someone above me who understands protocol and how to address this issue. Um, and from my experience working at Starbucks, it was nice to know when sometimes I'd be uncomfortable addressing a problem, or having to engage with certain customers. Uh, I just felt very supportive that the people who worked above me were like, okay, if you don't feel comfortable, we're more than happy to take care of that. So, on an employee perspective, just having that support system, um, and just reassurance that it's okay to not feel comfortable or not feel ready to engage in this type of issue. Uh, Go ahead and sit this one out and observe, so you know for next time. So as an employee, that was really helpful to me. And yeah, in a customer service or in a customer perspective, these escalation protocols are there for their safety and, again, consistency, um, and that way everyone is treated fairly and treated the same and treated appropriately. Um, and then one thing about it, problem solving, uh, that I think is really important is the follow-up, or kind of what Starbucks used to tell us was that you make the moment right. So in my capabilities, Starbucks anticipates problems that might arise. So they provide what's called a recovery card. So if a customer comes in and is like, this morning I came in, and they made my coffee wrong, I didn't even drink it, but I couldn't come back because I was late for work. That seems to happen quite often. Starbucks allows us to give a $4 uh, preloaded card of store credit, as long as it's approved by a supervisor, and the situation is appropriate. We can activate those and hand them out, just to make the moment right, because that person wasted their time, they wasted their gas to come back, and they didn't get their coffee before work, which is a huge deal. That might be someone's only pick me up, or the thing that's gonna get them amped or through the day. So those things are important. Starbucks, the cool thing was that they anticipate the problems, but then the follow up and talking about making them right. Like if somebody comes in with a problem, you want to see that they leave with their blood pressure lowered a little bit. And sometimes that looks like remaking their drink. Sometimes they're so mad they don't even want their drink. Sometimes it's a refund. Um, Sometimes a customer just wants to be heard, and they want, just this spiel, and for you to listen and say, I'm sorry that was your experience. Everyone's different. So, in that second prompt, when it asks about how emotional intelligence plays a role in helping employees solve a problem, having social awareness, and when it's appropriate to assert yourself, or maybe take a step back and just be a listener and an active listener. It's not an easy skill, but I think with this class, it has helped me recognize that how important that is. And emotional intelligence is huge in customer service. Because you can, just by seeing a customer walk in, you know what kind of day they're having, or maybe I'm gonna take a step back and not ask them, do we find everything okay, because they're on the phone, or there's just, everything changes, and it's not something that you can learn entirely in a textbook. But going into the end of the prompt, where I ask my opinions before this class and after. Before this class, when it comes to organizational skills and processes, the only really experience that I've had was through Starbucks, which I think, it being a huge corporation, really aligns with what we learned in the textbook, and I can see that, oh, these are the standard organizational processes. This is the types of communication networks that they have for us, that the textbook talks about is so important amongst employees. It was just very easy for me to pinpoint, what we're learning and kind of tie it into my life. So I thought that was really cool. And so afterwards, my opinion is I guess I know now what to look for, and if I am interested in starting up my own business, things that are really important to involve. And let me just make sure that I answered the rest of the prompt. And how you can make an impact on others. What I will say is, working in customer service is not something I want, in food service is not something I want to do forever. But it's a very, very humbling experience and super beneficial. I would say I wish that everyone had time in the food service industry to really just gain empathy, and you learn to understand, to be kind to people, to value people's time, as an employee perspective. But as a customer, I now go, and when I see workers, I'm way more empathetic or sympathetic, because now I think of things that I didn't think of before, because there are tough jobs out there. And so it really opened my eyes and made me appreciate people and their hard work. And so now the impact that I try to have on others is, to leave them happy, or, if I go in as a customer, tell them, you are great at your job. Is there anywhere I can go to write a review? Because those are things that I would appreciate when people recognize my hard work. So just being kinder to people and being empathetic and giving that recognition when it's deserved is a huge impact that you can have on people. Coming in as a customer and as an employee, literally just making somebody's day is the best feeling ever. Or somebody, comes in and is just has a normal attitude, just going about their day, but they leave with a big old smile because you pointed out that you love their nails. Just something as small as that is huge. So the impact part is something I'm super passionate about, and my work experience has really changed the way I see and treat others. Thank you.